Community in parts. Community broken in parts. Community was once a word that meant unity. Community is broken by the fears of another. Propaganda keeps it splintered into parts. White parts, black parts, Latino parts, Asian parts, right parts, left parts. Catholic, Hindu, Muslim, Jew parts. All at odds, so they say. Oh yeah. Who are they? What part are they? Are they the controlling corporate political power part? Sounds like community as a whole threatens their whole. Got to get back to the unity in community. Stop. Take a hand. Take a hold of another. Feel their human. Start with a human touch. Rich man, poor man, society lady, bag lady, what does it matter? All just part of humanity. White, black, Latino, Asian, right, left, Catholic, Hindu, Muslim, Jew, just to name a few. All got one thing in common. We all bleed the same. We all bleed the same. Community is not broken. See, all parts are the same. The same. The same. The same. I wanted to open up with that because I wrote that poem for a workshop I did with Oliver Lake, Quincy Troop, a lot of other cats that influenced me, just like all the artists in Newark influenced me. I feel that Newark adopted me and gave me a voice. I grew up in Jersey City. I was born an artist. I used to write on, draw on cardboard boxes, cereal boxes, wherever I had some paper, wherever we could get some stuff that my dad would bring home from when he worked at Westinghouse. And but I got really turned off by art by a high school teacher, and I gave it up. And I got married, started to raise a family, and in the late 80s, I discovered Newark. I mean, I knew Newark because I used to come shopping here when I was a little kid. Because we couldn't find it in Jersey City, we came to Newark downtown, and then you didn't find it there, then you went to New York. Right? So New York was like third choice. Jersey City, Newark, New York. All right? So when I came here, I started to look into what's going on with the arts, and I found City Without Walls. I found Gyra was up off of Orange Street. This was the late 80s. I was introduced, the first person I met was Hal Lasik, and I met him at City Without Walls, and you know Hal very well. And I mean, this is the kind of place that people come to learn what real art in an urban environment is about. I want to thank all of the people that mentored me, including this cat over here, who I didn't know for a long time, but I used to see his work thrown up around. And then Lum Lane, Willie Cole, you know, Ujima, a lot of guys, you know, Gladys, all the institutions. I wanted to start my talk with that poem that I did back in the 80s, in the 90s, because the times warrant it now. All right? Arts have to be activists. Art is active. Art is making activism. All right? Yes, commercial art, all the other stuff supports things. It's all good. All right? But we have a voice. And now it's more important that we speak out and yell and scream and holler and push the envelope, all right? Because we're not taking this stuff that they're throwing down our face. We all do bleed the same. So that's my little activism for tonight. We can talk a little bit about my art. You know, in high school, I was turned off by a teacher because he was trying to teach me commercial art, and he wanted me to do something. And I was into hot rods and racing cars, so I wanted to draw some stuff that was involved with that. And he didn't like that. He said, "Oh, no, you can't do that." So we got in an argument, and I basically got indefinite detention. And I told him where to go, and I didn't give a shit about it, and that was it. So, but when I got back into art after I got married, wanted to do something, and I discovered Newark, and I started to realize that I don't need all of these fancy materials. I don't need a lot of money to make an art. I don't need a lot of oil. I don't need a lot of pencils. I don't need much of anything. What I do need is the objects that we find in the street, all right, or what we find in all the buildings that were being demolished around here. And Lum Lane is where Willie Cole, I think Kevin was down there too, wasn't he? Well, Jeff? Yeah, Kevin Sampson was down there. There was another photographer. There's a bunch of cats. But Lum Lane was probably one of the coolest spots in Newark. And unfortunately, it's been, demolished, and 3-4 family houses have been built all over it. But that's another conversation. The point that I'm going to make is that I was embraced by these people that were making art. And I discovered found objects, and I discovered making art from the heart and from the soul by using what we have at here. It's an aesthetic. It's a Newark aesthetic. I mean, I like to say I'm a product of the Newark school. And people say, "Oh, Newark school." And I say, "Well, what's the Newark school?" I said, "Well, there is no Newark school." "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "No, the Newark school is the artist in Newark."
Right.
The artists here that come and help the other artists coming up. And I came here not as a young kid coming in here. I came in here in late 80s after I got thrown out of a job in 85. So I was probably in my early 40s. And it's been just really interesting how all the people I've met, the opportunities I've had, have all generated from this great city. And that's why I say I'm a product of the Newark school. And City Without Walls did a show. It was very controversial because a lot of people felt, well, these people aren't. Or I was lucky enough to be in that. I don't want to pour any salt on any wounds or anything. But listen, I want to put it real. I mean, I think what they did with that show is they were trying to think about the aesthetic. And correct me if I'm wrong. I think they were trying to show how this city and how the Newark School has influenced other artists that are not fully from Newark. But they got the aesthetic. They are doing what we were doing. They are doing what the people that grew up here, Willie, Ujima, all of these cats that came and helped me, Ramsey, God bless him, I mean, there's an aesthetic in Newark that we have the freedom to make what we want, to discuss what we want openly. And I think that we're actually fostering that more on the younger generations that are coming up through. And we got to look what we got now. We got Index Art. We got Rebecca. Gateway. I mean,
Gateway. Gateway.
City Without Walls, Elgira, Gateway.
The Barat
Fountain. The Mural Project. I mean, look at what the Arts Council is doing. And it's our job. We got to stay on the Arts Council and make them do what we have to and what we need. All right? Without the artist, there is no Arts Council. Without the artist, there is no gallery. All right? Without the artist, there is nothing. Everybody talks about economic development of the arts. No, the real value of the arts is the cultural value of the arts.
Yes.
What does the arts bring to a community? How does it reach that little kid, all right, that never knows anything about art, but he gets inspired by something he sees or whatever? Why did you start writing and drawing and do a penny? Where'd that come from? Yes. The power is inside, the power comes from above, and we express it the way we can. So, thank you for your presence.